Good morning. Well, everybody's in a good mood today. The weather has everybody feeling good. Some nice weather outside. So we dress for spring. So next week will be rainy and cold, and I'll be back in black. So enjoy the spring while you got it. I am gonna kind of stay probably in a similar vein as the last time I spoke. I asked a question the last time I spoke about who are you? Who are you? Who do you think you are? And we can say a lot of different things about that. Some people get super spiritual. Some people be very fleshy. Some people be right in the middle. Have a little bit to say about all of it. But today, something that's kind of been going on in me, and so I have to speak from where I am. I don't, that's all I got, right? That's all I got. So the last time I spoke, I talked a little bit about the children of Israel, and we all know we've been taught so much about 3 dimensions and how that applies to all different kinds of things, the outer court, the inner court, the most holy place, and Pastor Randy teaches Egypt and wilderness and the promised land so well. But the children of Israel, one of the things that really hit me a few weeks ago, sometimes I'm slow on the uptake, so y'all just have to forgive me there. But the children of Israel had manifestations of Christ, had manifestations of God every single day. God manifests himself in their life every single day. And they still complained. Every day there was a manifestation of him. Manna rained down from heaven when they were in their wilderness every single day. Not a day went by they didn't have food. Fresh food every single day. Not a day went by that there was not a cloud that led them by day and a pillar of fire that led them by night. Okay, I'm just saying, the pillar of fire appears and leads me by night. Okay, I'm going to see. Okay, all right, something's going on here. So there was a manifestation of God every single day in their life, but yet they still complained. And God manifested himself in every situation that they met. He manifested himself. There were miracles that took place in their life every single day. And so there's been, we're going to talk about obstacles that they had. So the children of Israel had obstacles that they faced. Okay, their first obstacle was the Egyptians and Pharaoh, right? Okay, that was an obstacle they had. When God delivered them from that obstacle and he brought them out, there was a Red Sea in front of them. There was another obstacle that they faced. God parted the Red Sea. He parted the waters, okay, for them to walk through on dry land. And then guess what he did to their first obstacle? He destroyed it in the second obstacle. He destroyed the Egyptians and Pharaoh in the Red Sea, which they saw as an obstacle to them. Okay? When they were in the wilderness, they had no food. He provided food. They had no water. He spoke to Moses and provided water. Every single time they faced an obstacle, God met that obstacle. And he overcame that obstacle. Okay? I want you to think about what you see in your life as obstacles. There's a teaching that I've been going through, and it tells me, you know what my biggest obstacle is? My biggest obstacle is myself. My biggest obstacle is myself. Why is my biggest obstacle myself? Because of my fear. Because of my worry. Because of all of these things that I have that are not who I truly am. They're things that lie in here, in between my ears. And they become my obstacle to being who God really called me to be. Because what do I think? One of the biggest things that God is overcoming in Angie is caring what other people think about me. You know, most of the time it's not really what they think about me, it's what I think that they think about me. Because you know what, they got too much to do, really, most people, to really have an opinion of me. I mean, if you think about your life and all you have going on and everything you have to do, most of the time what the problem is what I think that somebody else is thinking about me, not really what they think about me. I had somebody tell me the other day, I wish I could stand up there like you do. I'm like, you know, the only reason why I can do that is because I know y'all love me. I know y'all love me. And so I believe that your opinion of me is love. You know, that I believe that's your opinion of me. So I don't when I stand up here, I don't fear what you think about me. Okay? So I can be the person God created me to be. And I can wave my hands all over the place. And y'all can make fun of me and I'm okay with that. No, I couldn't speak if you tied my arms behind my back. It's not possible, okay? My children inherited it from me. So it's okay. You know, but I can do that because I don't fear what you think about me. You know, the other thing is I don't think about being on Facebook Live when I stand up here. Because if I did, then I would fear that. Because, you know, the first time they told me, I'm like, no, that's okay. Don't nobody need to see you, Angie. It's all right. But I don't think about that. What I think about is you sitting here and that you love me. And that, guess what? I know that you're looking for the Christ on the inside of me. So I can overcome that obstacle on the inside of me that's fear of what somebody else is thinking about me. Because I don't fear what you're thinking about me. I believe that we have been taught for so many years. Like, one of my biggest things with what we believe in this house and what I was taught as a kid when I grew up is that I was taught that I had a little itty bitty God. That's not what they said, but that's what they instilled in me, was that I had a little itty bitty God, that God wasn't really big enough to take care of my sin or take care of Adam's sin. God really wasn't big enough to take care of all those things, because there's a devil running around that's going to torment me and is going to do all these bad things to me because God wasn't big enough to defeat him. Wow. And that my sin is so big that I better make sure that I ask for forgiveness every single second of every single day, because if I lay my head down tonight and I didn't make sure God forgave me of all the things I did wrong today, he's going to send me to hell. That's the God that I was taught that I had. So, you know, there's a lot of scrubbing that's got to go on. But you know what that also taught me? That also taught me that I was very tiny. That I wasn't what God said I was. I wasn't more than able. I wasn't more. If my God's not more than able, and my God's not more than a conqueror, if he's not those things, how can I be those things? Okay, so I was taught for years and years and years that wasn't, my God wasn't big enough. So if I'm believing in that God, then how can he make me big enough if he's not that himself? So my opinion of myself is not really what God created me to be. It's not really who God created me to be. So I got to scrub out all this mess that's in my head that gives me all these obstacles that I face every single day. So I have to not only first do I have to begin to see who God is, because how can He make me what He created me to be if that's not who He is? Amen. So my opinion of who God is has to change. Now, one very, very thankful thing is that the opinion that my children have of God is that, guess what? God loves them more than anything on the face of the planet. And you try to tell, especially Leah, she gets very irritated very quickly about people that don't understand how much God loves them. She doesn't like it very much. Mama, they're just stupid. I'm like, baby, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. Just you got to love them. You got to tell them the right way, baby. She's got a lot of Angie Lambert in her. It is the way it is. This is the way it is. She got some of my brother in her too, so I can't blame it all on. But she got some of that in her too. So she got it from both sides. But it is what it is to her. She knows that. It's been taught to her very well by the teachers that she's had. And it's not a question to her. She doesn't question that. So see, that's a mess that she doesn't have to get rid of. Because she already knows that God loves her more than anything, and that God's already done it all. And hey, look, Leah ain't perfect, but guess what? Leah's perfect in the sight of God. And she understands that. So that's an obstacle that Leah doesn't have to overcome. So what I want, an obstacle blocks one's way, prevents or hinders progress. So you know what? The things that are blocking my way are preventing or hindering my progress, preventing or hindering me from understanding who I am. So preventing and hindering me from seeing, you know what? There were obstacles in the Israelites' way, why there were the obstacles were still, even with them, were here. Because what did they say? You brought us out here to die. So instead of seeing the manifestation, so I'm feeding you every day. I'm raining down manna from heaven every day to nourish your body, but I brought you out here to die. Why would He feed them? Why would He lead them every single day? Why would He guide them every single night if He brought them out there to die? But they got something in here. They got something in here that told them differently. That gave them an opinion of God that wasn't the right opinion of Him. So I got things in here that give me an opinion of God that's not the right opinion of Him. So then my opinion of myself is, I'm going to die here. See, their opinion of themselves was, we're going to die here. He didn't really give us that land over there. We're going to die here in the wilderness. So then they formed an opinion about themselves and what was going to happen to them. Instead of, I'm going to inherit what God has provided for me. I'm going to live in a place that is more than enough. Well, I'm going to live in a place that's more than enough because my God was more than able. Not because I did anything, but He was more than able. Even though the people that inhabited that land were afraid of them. Why were they afraid of them? They were afraid of their God. Because they knew what their God could do. Those people were afraid of them, but all the Israelites saw were giants. Not that I have already overcome the giants, because God told Joshua, the land is already yours. It's already yours. I've already given it to you. I want to read John chapter 16, verse 31. to the end of, there's like 3 or 4 verses there. It says, Jesus answered them, "Do you finally believe? In fact, you are about to make a run of it, saving your own skins and abandoning me. But I'm not abandoned. The Father is with me. And I've told you all this so that trusting me, you will be unshakable and assured, deeply at peace in this godless world." So Jesus is saying, look, you can leave me all you want to. I'm not alone. I'll never be alone. I'm never going to be alone because God's with me. So you're never by yourself. But he's saying, look, I've told you all this stuff so that trusting in me, you'll be unshakable and assured where you are and at peace where you are. You know, it says, in this godless world, you will continue to experience difficulties, but take heart. I've conquered the world. So is life going to be a bed of roses? Is everything going to be perfect? No, I was up the last 2 nights with my child. I've had 3 hours of sleep in 2 days. Okay? But you know what? I prayed over my child every single night. She got up yesterday morning. She's perfectly fine. Last night was better than the night before. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. But guess what? God does. God does. God knows what's going on. Everything's not going to be perfect. But if I understand that my God's already conquered the world, so that makes me what? More than a conqueror. Because it's already conquered. I don't have to conquer it. I don't have to go out and fight it. I don't have to get my hands dirty. Because he already did that for me. But see, my opinion of him has to be that he conquered the world so that I can see that I'm more than a conqueror. Amen. I got to see a big God. I don't think that that's something that we have a problem with here. I think we've been taught. I don't think that that's, but what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people out there who do. That's their problem. Their problem is they don't see how big God is. So they can't see themselves because they see a little itty bitty God. And that's something that I had to, that my mindset, my what was in between my ears had to be changed. I had to see something different so that I can see myself differently. Go to Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, whatever I have and wherever I am, I can make it through anything in the one who makes me who I am. Amen. That's good stuff. Whatever I have and wherever I am, I can make it through anything in the one who makes me who I am. In him, I can do anything. Because he makes me who I am. He makes me who I am. Who are you? Who are you? I mean, that's something that we really need to think about. Who am I? And not just who am I, but who am I? Who am I? I mean, there are certain things, like I've said from here, there are certain things that you can't take from me. You know why? Because they're part of who I am. They're part of who I am. They're down on the inside of me. They've been written there. And you can't take that away from me. Who are you? Who has he told you that you are? Who has he told you that you are? Not just, I'm not discouraging this. But lots of times we give it lip service. We say things that we've heard. We say things that we've read, but they haven't become part of us. They haven't become part of us. We haven't allowed Him to speak it to us. He needs to speak to me. Angie, you're more than able because of who I've made you. You can do anything because of who I've made you. I've made you more than able, and I've made you more than a conqueror. Guess what? I've made you a priest and a king. What does that really mean to you? We say that. I mean, it's said here all the time. What does that mean to you? I need to find out what that really means to me. So I can say it, but what does it really mean to me? How does it become part of me so that it changes this mess that's in here? Do you know what? Somebody who knows that they're a king, guess what? They act like they're a king. They act like they're a king. They act like they rule something. They act like they're in power over something. They act like they have authority over something. Do you act like you have authority over something? Do you act like you have power and that you rule? I know Angie doesn't. In everything, I don't. There are some things that I do, but there are many things that I don't. Because I don't see that. Because I don't really understand what that means to me. That He made me a priest and a king. That He's given me authority over this world. Why? Because He already conquered it and He gave it to me. We need to change our opinion of who God is so that I can change my opinion of myself. So that I can see who He's made me be. If I'm in Him and He's in me, who has He made me be? I can do all things because of who He's made me. So who am I? Who am I? Who are you? Who has He created you to be? Let it mean something to you. Let it be part of who you are. Let it be not just words that we say or something we give lip service to, but something that becomes part of who you are. Something that's part of you that can't be taken away. That there's nothing I can say to you, there's nothing that is in between your ears that can discourage you or that can change the opinion that you have of yourself. You know, when I get to the point where honestly it's becoming more and more in different areas of my life that I honestly, and I don't want y'all to think that I'm being rude or that I don't love people. Listen, I love people. I want people in my life. I want people around. I don't want to be by myself, you know. But the people I want around me are the people who truly see who I am. They see the Christ that's on the inside of me. They're not looking on the outside. They're not trying to see something that I can make happen. But they see who Angie really is. They see my heart. They see who God created me to be. So that guess what? Their opinion of me doesn't come from the outside. It comes from the inside. That's what I'm trying to do with the people that are around me, is not see what's on the outside, but see who they are on the inside. But until I begin to see myself that way, until I begin to see who God created me to be, it's going to be hard for me to see who God created you to be. But I don't want to care about people's opinion of me. Because the people who really see me, their opinion of me is going to be, I see Christ in her. I see Christ in her. And those are I want everybody to see Christ in me. But I'm going to be the person God created me to be. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm a little weird, if you think my decisions aren't just quite right, I want to be who God created me to be. I want to be able to do anything in Him because He makes me who I am. Not because I made me who I am or anybody else made me who I am, but He made me who I am. He created a person to walk in this earth to show people Christ. And that's what I want people to see. And not their opinion of me doesn't really matter. Because you know what? Their opinion of me is really should be their opinion of Christ. If my manifestation is Him in this earth, then their opinion isn't reflecting on this flesh. So I don't care what their opinion of my flesh is. I care about what their opinion of the Christ in me is. Today, I want you to see that you can do anything in the one who makes you who you are. And why? Because He is an awesome God. He is a great God. He is a loving God. He is a merciful God. He's God that's bigger than anything. He's the God that spoke this universe into existence. Not a God that's defeated or that's not enough or not big enough, or guess what? He's big enough to cover all my mess. And still look at me and say, that's my child. Why is she my child? Because I dwell in her. Because I made her who she is. And then see yourself the way God sees you. See who He created you to be. And that you can do anything in Him because He's the one who makes you who you are. Thank you.